What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Dan. This is Neomustangs, and this is a Fox Body Mustang channel. Got a little special treat for you today. I'm gonna get right into it. We're gonna go over here and we're gonna show you some areas that you need to be concerned with when you have a Fox Body Mustang. Let's get right into it. You ever wonder what it looked like underneath one of these wings when it ain't been removed in like 30 years? Well, you're about to find out. Back here on Cousin Fred's car, we're gonna take this wing off and we're gonna show you what's underneath of the wing. All right, so unlike GT and LX wings, they're kind of different because they're a different animal, because they're made differently and they mount on the car differently. The GT wing normally has the area and the air underneath of it that allows it to come through. So it only really mounts like right here, right? Let me show you an example of what Dad's car looks like underneath of its wing that we took off of, and this was an LX. This doesn't look too bad, but you can see the rust hiding. This side is terrible. So what we plan on doing with Cousin Fred's car out there, the white car, is we're gonna take its wing off that hasn't been removed probably since the factory, and we're gonna look underneath of it. I'm gonna show you some of the spots that you can't even see that you should probably be paying attention to if you're trying to keep your car clean and restore. Now, to give you some idea again on what a difference between a GT and an LX hatch, the LX wing has like multiple holes in it. And you can see how it mounts like differently. It's got all these holes. It's like a full-based spoiler, if that makes any sense. And again, a GT wing has just the three and has the air gap. So what does that mean for you? Well, when it comes to the restoration stage and it comes to the keeping your car from rusting stage, you gotta pay attention, especially if you have an LX or a GT wing, because they both will have hidden secret stuff going on down here. Especially if you're running the LX wing. So if you're trying to save your car and trying to keep your car nice and clean, you're gonna wanna remove this and you're gonna have to clean it every year, because I'm about to show you what it looks like underneath the Fred's car. So as you can see, Cousin Paul's got started on this panel. Underneath of these panels got some bolts that you gotta remove. See, there's a trim remover tool needed here. And you can see how dirty underneath this panel is as well. It's really bad. Another thing about your hatch is this seam. This seam likes to rust because it gets behind this little sealer here. And the water just kind of just sits there and just rusts the car out. This video isn't about hatches really per se, but more of maintenance on your car that you should probably do every year when you have a hatchback, and you know, get these stuff cleaned, making sure that the car stays rust free for the most part. So we're gonna go ahead and get this panel off, and I'm gonna go ahead and pop these screws out. All right, we're gonna go ahead and remove this wing. So nobody's seen underneath of this wing in probably 30 years, so I'll be curious to see what it looks like. Bro, that's disgusting. And it's not Cousin Fred's fault. It's not Cousin Paul's fault. It's not my fault. But look, this is like caked on garbage, because there's just stuff hidden everywhere. Don't beat us up, because this was a parts car that me and Cousin Paul and Cousin Fred were gonna part out. That you recall, me and Cousin Fred and Cousin Paul got it running good. Hey. There's a lot of sand down here in this quarter panel. That's usually a place that hides a lot of stuff just from years of garbage. All right, so here we go. About to pull this off. Oh, wow. Wow. Just nasty. Look at all this stuff. Acorns, stuff from trees. Actually, this isn't as bad as I thought it would be, because we've seen them really bad. Like when this stuff gets wet, this stuff just holds moisture and just rots this whole hatch, because it all gets stuck up in here, because it's like a, you know, it's like a little bath or whatever. So these rust places are hiding all over a Fox body, and you need to make sure, even as a coupe, even as a convertible, that you're paying attention to them and taking care of them. The hatchback's got a whole bunch of bolts and a screw, but it only takes a minute for you to take it off and clean it. And it's the best thing to do is to wax it and clean it. That way that water and that dirt and that tree stuff. See? So if you got a hatchback, even a GT's got that stuff hiding. You know, look at the mess that we made just by peeling that off. And when that stuff gets wet, like I said, when that stuff gets snow in it, like we're in Ohio, so we have to do maintenance of stuff like this. You know, it doesn't matter if you're in Ohio, it doesn't matter if you're in Florida, in Texas, it doesn't matter what state you're in. That stuff, acorns and stuff from the trees, they're gonna get in there. It doesn't matter. It's gonna get in there and it's gonna make it nasty, and you're gonna need to clean it and fix it and whatever. So, you know, I did make a video on the 5 places a Mustang like to rust the most, but I'm gonna show you one that's really bad that I can't do anything with. And it's just tore up from the floor up, literally. This whole A-pillar is rotted. This whole torque box has been fixed, rotted, and this car's been in a fire. I mean, this whole undercarriage is just destroyed. It looks like a nightmare. And this is what happens. I mean, this is what happens with weather and years of, you know, just years of rust. And this is what I was talking about over there with the sand. This car had literally about 3 inches of sand, and it was all still wet. That just completely rotted this whole panel out. It was ridiculous. And A-pillars have this like sound deadener up in here, and this stuff all gets wet and the carpet gets wet, and this is all a seam, so this stuff gets all rotted real bad, and it's just terrible. Now, these cars definitely don't need any more help rotting and aging as they already do. I mean, things just get so bad with these strut towers, and this whole video isn't really necessarily about rust, but how to try to prevent it. Having proper maintenance and knowing what you're looking at is half the battle. And this is why I wanted to bring this video to you guys. I wanted to tell you something that's easy to do. I wanted to show you how bad it was and how bad it could get. Because you don't want your car to end up like this. So I just wanted to make a quick video because I had thought about it and I said, you know what? I better get this video before Cousin Fred actually cleans that. Because we're about to take Cousin Fred's car into the shop here in the next month, and we're gonna fix his floor pan. We're all gonna do a big vlog on it. So his floor pan is in better days, so it's time to do that. So hatchback owners, GT owners, convertibles with the luggage rack, whether you live in Alaska, whether you live in Ohio, Michigan, Florida, Texas, this stuff is hiding. Rust is hiding. You need to take care of it and you need to clean it out. So I appreciate everybody watching the video up to this point. If you haven't had a chance to check out those areas, I highly suggest you take a minute, make a plan, and try to do a little bit of maintenance on your Mustang. If you enjoy my Fox Body content, you enjoy the channel, make sure you hit that like and subscribe. Tell your friends about us, share us, comment, as we're gonna continue to bring you as much content as possible. I wanna take a shout out to my club membership people. That's the join button here below. Thank you for your support. I wanna shout out to the channels like Foxcast Media, Brutal, Gearhead 704. Go check out those channels if you haven't had an opportunity. And again, I thank everybody that's it for today. See you in the next video.